All right, starting up the stream. What's up, everybody? Matthew Bruner here, the Bengal Tiger On3. I want to do a quick live stream. It's not going to be long unless EA adds more to today's release, which I'm not sure if they are or not. But basically, I want to do a rundown of the top 100 players, see what I agree with, what I don't agree with, kind of go through all of them, and yeah, just kind of give my thoughts on it. So we'll let the stream load up a little bit longer here. Here we go. Top 100 players. All right. Change it to that. So we're going to run through the top 100 players here, kind of give my thoughts on them. Obviously, looking at LSU perspective, especially, but kind of just a general overview on my thoughts. I did think they would release the rosters because on their Twitter it says launch roster reveal. So not sure exactly, not sure how this is exactly the launch roster reveal. I feel like more's got to be coming, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. All right. Ohio State with the most at 8. Brady says, okay, good to know. Let's do this. I'm gonna react. I'm gonna give my thoughts. Let me share the screen over here. I can already see the top piece of this. So let me get rid of my banner. Just get everything life in order over here. Okay. Let's run through it. Let's run through the top 100. I still feel like I said, they have to release like more than this. They said launch roster reveal. So unless if they don't have it ready, I feel like this can't be all that they released today. But who knows? It's EA. They do whatever they want. Y'all know EA at this point. So let's do it. Liberty running back Quentin Cooley. Heard of him, watched some Liberty games when I was scouting CJ Daniels. Obviously, Liberty runs the hell out of the ball. I'm not going to go through each player, but don't have a problem with him being there. Now, I will say, I'll start off right here. Mason Taylor, LSU tight end at a 90 overall, 98th ranked player in the country, I guess, for this game. I had him at an 88 overall on my my predictions for the ratings. And so to see him coming in at a 90, I think that's fair. However, I think coming off of last year, I thought they would dock him a little bit because he wasn't utilized much, and he was playing honestly through an injury last year. So I'm cool with him being a 90. I am surprised that EA is able to, put him at a 90, considering last year he didn't have the biggest year compared to his freshman season. So some of this is projecting, I guess, with Mason, but I'm cool with it. I think he's, like I said before, he's a top 10, top 12 tight end in the country. So number 90 overall, I do not have a problem with that. Let's keep scrolling down, see if we see any other LSU players here. Billy Bowman, yeah, really fast. I know that 94, 97. I saw him in college, or I'm sorry, in high school, out of Denton. So yeah, really fast corner there. Don't have a problem with him being 90 overall. Emory Jones, right tackle. Here's our first surprise: 90 overall. Emory Jones for LSU. I think that's too low. Yeah, I think that's a little too low. I don't have a huge problem with it, but I do think that's too low. We're talking about a top 10 tackle in the country. Honestly, some people have him as top like 6, 7, 5 tackle in the country. And to have him only at a 90, I think is a little disingenuous, disrespectful there. I would have him at a 92. When you talk about him and Will Campbell, I think I have Will Campbell at like a 96 or so. I don't think Emory Jones is that far off of being one of the better tackles in the country. So I would have Emory Jones at 92, and they have him at 90 right now. So let's see what else we got here. Caden Salter, 90. Don't have a problem with that. Obviously, a quarterback that out of high school I saw out of Texas. I thought had a ton of talent, but got in some trouble. Had to go to Liberty and just balled out at Liberty last year. Man, Caden Salters is an awesome quarterback. Like I said, watching CJ Daniels tapes really helped me lock in on Caden Salter in that Liberty offense. Runs the hell out the ball, but Caden Salter, man, just an awesome arm talent there for Liberty. That's why they're probably going to go like undefeated again this year. All right, let's see. If anybody here surprises y'all, you can type it in the chat or reply or anything like that. Restrepo for Miami is going to be a good player. Patrick Payton, 90 overall. Not mad at it. I would have Emory Jones like a 92. So I think he's better than a lot of these guys. Evan Stewart, 90. Not mad at that. Trey Harris, 90. Okay. I feel like they're gonna have a lot of receivers in this. But yeah, Trey Harris, 90. Jalen Daniels, 90. Ooh, yeah. I mean, he's good. I think I was on record saying I don't love this quarterback class like for across the country this year. So like I wouldn't have a ton of quarterbacks in the 90s. Like even Nussmeier to me would be like 89, maybe 90. But Jalen Daniels 90 is interesting. 88 speed, Jalen Daniels. Let that be on the record. 88 speed, 90 acceleration. Yeah, for Jalen Daniels there. So really fast quarterback. We'll see what obviously in Kansas offense. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Let's see. Oh, sweet. There you go by sections. Deontay Lawson, 90 overall. All right, let's see how long it takes us to get to like a 91. Kobe Bryant, cool. Jackson Dart, 90. Jackson Dart, 90 with 84 speed, 85 excel, 93 awareness. I don't have any of the other stats available here. Or I mean, maybe I do if I press. Let me see what happens if I press the name. No, nothing. Yeah, Jackson Dart, I don't think he's a 90 rated quarterback. Kind of plainly. I just don't. Dart, Jalen Daniels, I wouldn't have a 90 rated personally, but that's just kind of me. Jalen Milroe, like Milroe being the same rating as Dart. I understand last year, like they were on the same tier. I think Milroe projects to be better this year. I would have Milroe over Dart. I'd still have Milroe at like a 90, but then Dart's like an 88. It's in Harvey. Martinez comes at 91. Singleton 91. Okay. I don't know why I thought he'd be a little bit higher. I understand maybe he needs to prove it a little bit more, I guess, but 91 overall for Nick Singleton, 94 speed. We're getting kind of higher. Landon Jackson off the edge, right? Arkansas, 91 overall. Don't have a huge problem with that. Good player for sure. Kenneth Grant, only 91 from Michigan. He's gonna have a lot on his plate this year. Danny Stutzman had a lot of tackles for Oklahoma last year, but Oklahoma wasn't like a great defense, so I don't know how much I buy that. Let's see. Next page. A lot of 90s and 91s here, so this is kind of interesting. Donovan Edwards, 91 overall running back. We saw him play the game. Saw him kind of break away. Like the thing about it is he has 92 speed, 96 excel, and we saw in that clip, right? Or not the clip. We saw like in the full game, he looked like unstoppable as a running back, Donovan Edwards. So if he's only has 92 speed, 96 excel, and he's breaking away from defenses like that, I'm interested to see the speed disparity here because in Madden, if you have 92 speed, you're caught. Like flat out, you're caught. The DBs are gonna have 92 speed, like at the very least. So for him to break away was interesting to see. Torrey Horton, Ashton Jonty. Yeah, I like Ashton a lot at Boise State. Really good running back. Don't have a problem with him being this high. Tyler Booker, 91 overall. Don't have a problem with him being this high. Kansas, 91 overall back. Devin Neal, or 92 overall Devin Neal. That backfield's going to be crazy. Jalen Daniels and Devin Neal. John Heim, Quincy Riley. Taj Brooks, 92. Malachi Moore, free safety, 92. Okay. Harold Perkins, 92. Harold Perkins only at a 92. Interesting. This is a guy who I think is projected to be a first round pick. Obviously last year wasn't like the craziest year um for Harold Perkins, but still this is a guy who, dude, they gave him 97 acceleration, 92 speed though. I'll tell you this. Nobody's gonna give a damn about his and they made him a left outside linebacker, which is interesting because this year I think he's gonna play more, inside linebacker, likely at the will spot. But I'll tell you this, even though they gave him 92 overall, 97 excel, 92 speed, nobody's gonna give a damn about that. They're just gonna put him on the field and probably honestly you could user him. Like just make him your user in the middle of the field and just go crazy because that is absurd. And I think this is 94 jumping, 88 awareness if I'm correct. 92 is low for Perk. I would have had him a couple ratings higher. So for him to be 92 I think is interesting, and I assume that's the second highest rated player. Like we haven't seen Garrett Nussmeier yet, but I think EA is going to look at this in terms of Nussmeier hasn't played yet. And I'll talk about that after we go through all of them to make sure he's not on this list, but I'm just going to assume Nussmeier's not on this list for whatever reason. But Dylan Gabriel at 92, Jack Sawyer 92. Harold Perkins, though, is the interesting one, 92 overall, 97 excel. Just put him at middle linebacker and just user him. That's my advice to y'all. Quinn Ewers, 92 overall. Okay. So, yeah, if Quinn is 92, I guess they're not putting Garrett in this top 100. Walter Nolan, 93. Wow, that's high. But he is incredible. He's an incredible defensive tackle. So, don't have a huge problem with this group. Quinn, I think, like, if it was up to me, the quarterbacks would go something like, the highest rated being like 92, 93 in the country. Like, I don't think there's a quarterback in the country this year that's deserving of being over like 93 rated, personally. So, I'm glad they didn't overinflate Ewers there. All right, let's get to the last one. Last page. Jaden Ott, Cal running back, monster. Travion Henderson, also a monster, 94 speed, 95 excel. Yeah, Walker out of Kentucky's a beast. Williams, Emeka Buka, 93. Carson Beck, 93. Like, he should be the highest one to me. Him, Sanders at 93, I'm not, like, mad at, but, like, I would have Beck 93, Sanders, Ewers, maybe 91, 92. Like, that's probably my limit, and then you kind of drop down from there. I still think Nussmeier's a top 10 quarterback in the country, so I would have him on this list, but whatever. Shador speed, 80 speed, 85 excel. Do we think he has 80 speed, 85 acceleration? Do we think Shador Sanders is actually 85 acceleration? Because I don't think he's that fast at all. So, yeah, that's not, I'm not buying into that one. They did give him 98 awareness too, which is higher than Carson Beck. And 84 jumping. So Shador is going to be just overpowered as hell to start the game. I'm telling y'all this right now. Someone asked, where are the rosters? I did not see them. Let me go refresh their Twitter again. That's the disappointing part. I thought they were releasing the whole rosters. So, yeah, they haven't released the roster. This is all they dropped. But they said they were dropping the rosters today. So I'm sorry, I do not have the rosters here. Okay. Yeah, McMillan, 94 overall. Banks, 94. No problem there. Luther Burden, 94 overall. I love Luther Burden. I think he's an awesome, awesome player. Like, I wouldn't have a problem if they had Luther Burden 95, 96, honestly. And I don't think, like, I think 96, 97 is probably the cap you should have, like, in these games, probably. But I just think Luther Burden is, like, awesome. Awesome player. Ratledge, Quinshawn Judkins, 95. I can see it. I'm glad they only give him 89 speed, 94 excel. Like, he's not like this crazy 93 speed, 93 excel, like 93 strength guy. Mason Graham's a monster, of course. Malachi Stark's monster, of course. Travis Hunter, yeah. Caleb Downs, James Pierce, Ollie Gordon, Will Campbell, and Will Johnson. Will Campbell comes in at number 2, 96 overall. Honestly, I had him 97 on my predictions. I think Will Campbell is a lock to be a top 10 pick, on the best offensive line in the country, best offensive lineman in the country. Like, if that's the case, how, like, 97, I might be nitpicking here, but I think that's like, I would have it capped out at 97. They capped it out at 96. So I guess I can't be mad at that because, it's right there. It's 1-to-1. But yeah, I would have Will Campbell like even 97 because if he doesn't deserve 97, who does? But yeah, not a huge problem with this list. Here's what I'll do. I'll go through my predictions for the LSU roster, and that's how we'll wrap this up. It's free on our site, so I don't have a problem with showing it on here. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to leave them in the replies or chat or something like that. But let's run through my predictions for LSU's ratings in this EA college football game here. Let me do one more check to make sure they didn't drop like full rosters or anything. Just game changers, EA. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised, EA? All right. Let's share my screen over there. Again, this is on Bengal Tiger site, so you can check all this out over there. Quarterbacks. JD, I love you. Move. All right, quarterbacks. I have Garrett Nussmeier at 88, AJ Swan 74, Rick Collins 71, Carlin Hurley 68. Now, I think Nussmeier, now that I've seen Jalen Daniels and I've seen some of the players that they have at 90 overall, like if we go back to the quarterbacks, let me filter here so I can be accurate in the ratings. I don't want to spit off the wrong ones here. Yeah, Caden Salter 90, Jalen Daniels 90, Jackson Dart 90, Jalen Milroe 90. I think Garrett Nussmeier is better than Jackson Dart. I don't think that's a hot take. I think he's better than Jalen Daniels. I don't think that's a hot take. I think he's on the same, at least going into the season, on the same tier as a Jalen Milroe and Dylan, and I'll just say on the same tier as Jalen Milroe. I think he should be, if these are your 90 rated quarterbacks, I would have Nussmeier here. I won't have a problem if Nussmeier is 89 overall. I'll say that. Like, I won't have a problem with that. But I have him at 88 personally. Again, this was going in before we saw what the top 100 looked like. So that's my quarterback position. Running backs: Josh Williams, Caleb Jackson, both 82. Trey Holly, 73. Durham and Emery, 73, 74. Jackson's interesting. I think he ends the year higher than 82, but I start him off at 82. I think he's really good. Receiver: Kyron Lacey, 87, CJ Daniels, 85, Hilton's 82, Xavion, 82, Anderson, 76, and then kind of Sampson, 75, Parker, 75, and then kind of go from there. I don't know what EA thinks about Kyron Lacey right now, because he was not an awesome like talent. Like, he wasn't an awesome player last year, and he didn't put up huge numbers, right? So this is his first year really going into the season as like a number one guy, and I think for that reason, I think he ends the year, maybe in the 90s, but I think he should start the year probably around 86, 87. So like Evan Stewart's a 90, Trey Harris is a 90. I'm cool with putting Lacey a little bit below them, but not too much. So tight end, I have Mason Taylor at 87. I thought it was higher than that, 87. Because I thought EA would look at last year and be like, okay, well, he wasn't great. Like, he wasn't this breakout player, but they put him at 90, and I think that's fair. So I'm not mad at that. He's a really good blocker, and a really skilled receiver that was hurt last year. I think will be a lot better this season. Offense tackle, like I said, Will Campbell 97. I think he should be 97. Emory Jones, I have a 92. They have him at 90. So I guess not a huge disparity there. Adam 77, Bordelon 75. I'm interested to see how that rounds out. Centers and guards: Dellinger 86, Frazier 85, Chester 82. I think that'll all be about where they end up. I wouldn't be I don't think there's much wiggle room there. Defensive ends, Savion Jones, Braden Swinson, 83, 82. I could see that flipped. I could see like Swinson maybe being even a little bit higher potentially. Womack's going to be an interesting one because he was a 5-star out of high school and going into his sophomore year. I think he should be at least like a 79, 78, 79, somewhere in that range. So, really good group. Gabe Rutherford had a really good spring. 70. I have him at 76 overall because as true freshmen, I struggle to put any true freshman higher than like 76, 77, maybe. So I think Relaford at 76 is where I'm comfortable with. Um, D tackle. This is a fun one for LSU fans, right? Jacoby Guillory 75, Paez 74, McKinley 74, McNeely 73, and so on. It's gonna be kind of ugly here. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But yeah, that's just my guess for the defense tackle spot. It's not gonna be pretty. All right, linebackers. I have Perkins at 95. I just think he's the versatility, the speed. Like I said, they have him at 92, but they gave him 97 acceleration, so it's really not going to matter at the end of the day. Like people will still use the hell out of him, but it would be nice if they had given him, I guess, better. I don't even because you can't see the rest of the stats. So whether it's tackling, pass rush, playmaking on the ball and coverage, like coverage, I think honestly should be pretty high as well. So I don't see how you have him at a 92 because I think there's a lot of attributes that you could say are like 80 plus for this guy. Whit Weeks, Greg Penn will be interesting. I would have them both around 82, 83. And then you kind of look at the rest are young guys. Their cornerback, Zai's been injured. Obviously, I heard halfway through last year, so I don't know how they'll grade him. I'd have him at like 79, 80 to start the year. And just like as he doesn't play, just maybe hold him or drop him there. But Ashton Stamps, Toviano, Woodland, like those guys, I think should be around the 75 to 78 range. It's just a lot of inexperience and like youth and uncertainty. So I'm not sure exactly how EA will value the cornerback spot. Star position, Major Burns, Kylan Jackson, Juwan Johnson. I think Burns and Jackson have a good shot to be close to 80 here. I'm not, again, Jackson being 77 to me makes sense, but to EA, he didn't play a ton last year. I don't know what his PFF scores were, but like, I don't know how impactful he was last year. So how much do they know that Kylan Jackson should be a good player this year? I don't know the answer to that. All right, safety. Jordan Gilbert, Sage Ryan, both at 79 for me. I can't really put them up at an 80 plus right now. Based on the spring and really based on much of what we've seen. Gilbert was actually pretty good at A&M before he got hurt last year, so we'll see. And that's it. There you go. So even though EA did not come through with the full rosters that like I thought they would, we went through the top 100 and we went through my predictions for the Tigers this year. So we'll wrap it up there. Appreciate y'all for joining me, and I will talk to y'all later.